Hi everybody, Dynamitespoony here. So I just saw this trailer for Sega's next Sonic game, simply titled for now, Project Needlemouse. I know I'm a little late to the party as this trailer's been out for a few weeks, but I'd still like to comment on it. I have to admit, I was impressed. No silver, no shadow, and best of all, no big furry werewolf arm popping out of nowhere. Just a speedy blue blur. The whole thing really gave off the vibe of Sonic's golden years on the Genesis, right down to the old school logo. Alright, Sega, you've succeeded in grabbing the attention of old school Sonic fans like myself, but now you've got to follow through. Here's a few things I'd like to see from this new project, and a few general thoughts. First off, just relying on 2D gameplay won't be enough to carry this game. Sega has been turning out decent 2D Sonic games all this time for the handhelds, after all. If they want to truly return to old school form, they need to bring back the importance of platforming. I always felt that was one of the biggest problems with the Advance and Rush series. There were too many levels that were just, hold right, jump every now and then, you win! One of the biggest myths about the franchise is that it's all about speed. Go back and play the original Sonic, or an even better example, Sonic CD. Sure, they were fast, but there was also a ton of platforming that, when combined with the speed, made for a very fluid experience. Though it might piss off some of the fan base, but then again, what doesn't? Making it a 2.5D game like the Klonoa series, instead of having it be sprite-based, might be a nice compromise, keeping it fresh but still keeping a classic feel. This will work much better if my theory is correct. What is my theory, you ask? Take a look at the logo carefully. Doesn't Sonic look a whole lot more like his old school incarnation there? His spines are shorter, looks like his body's a little thicker, but the image looks like it's been rendered in 3D. Are they really going to go so far as to turn back the clock on his character design? Only time will tell. Second, Sega, enough with the serious business plots! Yes, you somehow made it work in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, but you've failed miserably at it ever since, especially in that convoluted clusterfuck that was Sonic 06. Sega, you are working with characters that were modeled after Felix the fucking cat. Stop taking yourself so seriously. All that drama without lightheartedness just comes off as extremely pretentious if one doesn't go above and beyond to make it work. But to be fair, Sega isn't quite as bad about this as they once were, especially since Unleashed. But it's still something they should watch out for. And again, it goes along with capturing the feel of old school Sonic. When I think of the older Sonic games, I think of an atmosphere like the cutscenes in Sonic CD. What it lacked in a big, epic plot, it well made up for in a big, beautiful sense of freedom and movement, accompanied by early 90s J-pop. The newer Sonic games really lost the free spirit that made the older games so great, and bringing that back would definitely appease the fan base. Well, some of it. I'd also like to cover a bit of controversy with the logo they showed. A lot of people are saying that it doesn't look like Sonic and could be a dreaded new character. Honestly, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. It just looks like old school Sonic to me. Speaking of characters, I'm not a purist. I appreciate new characters if they add something to the story, and to be honest, I don't have a huge problem with some of the characters they've introduced. My problem is that Sega refuses to do anything with these characters, mostly just making them stand around, occasionally having them say a token line every now and then, instead of fleshing them out. With the unnecessary characters, the lack of soul is not so bad, but the series has become so clogged with these deadweights that this has extended to Tails and Knuckles, which is pretty much unforgivable. So it really is for the best that any extra characters not named Tails, Knuckles, and maybe Amy or Metal Sonic be completely excluded from this game. Keep it simple, Sega. The others have their place, but it's not in this game. Also, please, 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 please make Robotnik the villain again! It made sense in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 for him to team up with the good guys, but the gimmick's been played out and milked dry. And yes, I have played Chronicles and I know what happens, but we need him to rise to full villainhood in an actual console game, and not just a spin-off. Sega, you have a perfectly good bad guy. Use him for once. Whew. Despite Sega's past mishandlings of this franchise, I still maintain an air of cautious optimism about this game. After all, Unleashed was a step in the right direction, if you ignore the werehog thing, and the handheld titles were for the most part pretty good. I know Sonic's broken all our hearts before, but I still hold hope that he can redeem himself. So yeah, I have to say I'm pretty hyped for this game, and for God's sake, Sega, don't fuck this one up!